Hey everybody, Dave here. I hope you're having an awesome day. So we are going to build this cyber bike for Bill. And hold on, I'm getting a text here really quick. Oh, it's from Grogu. Oh man, he's asking if I'm going to do something for May 4th. Oh shoot, I totally forgot. Okay. Oh, he says, yes. Okay, I send a special something hyperspace speed. Hold on.
Ooh, this is really exciting from Grogu via Team Gooplux and Roxy, the Pooch Belly puppy. Ooh, what could it be? Is that a Boba Fett model? Yeah. Okay, so these Bandai model kits are amazing. If you've never built one, I highly recommend it. But I'm not going to make you watch me build this whole thing, so let's do some David Copperfield magic. Let's put a cloth over it, a little abracadabra, poof. There we go. All right, now that I've got him built, I'm going to just take apart the main components so I can figure out how to paint him, because I want him to be the Boba Fett repaint from The Mandalorian 2. Now, The Mandalorian had some really great promotional posters, and they had pictures of each character in front of a little wall of graffiti. So I want to build myself a little diorama that will replicate the promotional posters. So here I am just cutting up some foam core, and I want to make like a little half wall that had a little bevel on it. So I'm just taking the foam core, I cut off an angle and just sanded it down. And now I'm just using some glue and gluing this diorama together. Here's the little half wall that I was talking about. And in the poster, there is this kind of like metal grate. So I'm going to open up a little space for this metal grate. Get your square there, make sure everything's nice and 90-degree angles. And I went on the computer and made the little grate, and then I'm going to use my little vinyl cutter, and I cut out this polystyrene, and here I am just removing all the little pieces. Tedious, but really rewarding in the end. Yeah, that's looking good. But the metal grate is kind of beat up and has little pits on it, so I thought, I'm just going to try and take some rocks and smash it around, and a little bit of pain, and end result, not too shabby. I really like this. And I think once it's all painted and weathered, it's going to look great. So let's go ahead and glue this thing down and get this into place. Yeah, this is looking good. And I want to just pose the model here, kind of see the height, the scale. Yeah, I'm really liking this. Okay, there are some little gaps that I do want to fill, so I'm going to use this lightweight spackle, and it fills in the gaps super easy and really easy to work with, dries pretty fast. So this is looking good. And I don't know what I was thinking. I started hand painting all these little components, and then I realized, you know what? I can just spray paint this whole thing. So snipping off these little spikes because the new Boba Fett doesn't have them, and there it is. I just went ahead and did a black flat spray paint over the whole thing. That was way easier than hand painting piece by piece. Okay, so I'm going to take the Mod Podge and I'm going to make a little mixture here. This is some tile grout. And if you're wondering why my Mod Podge is gray, I thought it would be clever. Ow, are you kidding me? I thought it'd be clever to mix some black in there to make it like a gray primer. That was maybe a dumb idea, but that's okay. So this is mixing up really nice and giving me a really great kind of gritty, sandy texture. So we'll get this finished up. Now I've got this little leather holster that was from a piece of scrap, but it's got a couple of little lumpy edges on it. So I'm just going to take some sandpaper and sand this guy down, and it looks pretty good at the end. I'm pleased how it's going to turn out. Yeah, it looks pretty great. I just took a pin and poked some little holes so it looked like there was some stitching on it. And I am taking some leather dye here that my mom had and just giving it a nice little coat. This is a light brown, and then I'm doing, yeah, here's the first one, and then the second one is a little bit darker. And so kind of just texturing it and layering it. I haven't really worked with leather a lot, but this worked out pretty easy. Here's just putting a little color on the belts. All right, so he has this braided belt. So I got this wax string and I thought I need two colors because the braided belt has a light and a dark. So I thought I'm just gonna take this wax and twist it. This will be really great. I'm such a genius, right? So I put it on a drill and twirl this thing up. It didn't actually work in the end. It kept falling apart. It kept untwisting, so whatever. Now time to dig through. I need to make a custom Mandalorian gun because his new gun is different than the original Boba Fett gun that comes in the model kit. So I just found a couple little parts, found a render online, and I'm going to start hacking these guns apart and build my own custom gun here. So this was actually really fun and really rewarding in the end to see a finished product. So yeah, dremeling off some of the little pieces that I couldn't get an X-Acto knife through. And here you have a coffee straw, some polystyrene tubing, a little bit of wood block that I carved, and I think in the end it's gonna look great. Yep, so there it is. I'm gonna use this silver base from Citadel. Oh man, I gotta say, this is looking so good. The back part of the scope was from that little brown rifle that I had, so this is looking cool. I'm gonna take a little brown acrylic craft paint and paint the handle, and then some Nuln oil and do a little wash on it.
Alright, so on the Mandalorian, I wanted to do some cloth fabric, but I actually don't know how to sew and could not figure it out myself. So sometimes you have to know your limitations, and I'm bringing in the big guns, and I got Mom over here. Hi, Mom!
Hey!
And she is helping me do some sewing, and it is looking stellar. So let's get back at it.
Okay, while Mom's sewing, I need to trim down these legs so they're a little bit thinner. Sewn up some boot spats, but they looked horrible, so it looked like the inside of a snowboard boot or something. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of leather here and pull it really tight and just glue it on. And I think that's going to look great. Those will tuck right underneath. Yeah, that's going to look cool. Remember that twisty braid? Yep, here's a hand braided one. And I'm just wrapping it around the waist there. And it wraps around quite a few times, and then there'll be a little leather strip that goes over the top of that. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, is just working on getting this to look good, gluing it down, putting a little leather strip on. That's going to work. Time to glue the holster on. A little tiny bit of super glue, and dink! Yeah, that looks great. Oh, I love that. So the fabric that hangs over his right leg was a little poofy, so I went ahead and put some floral wire in there, and that'll give me a little flexibility. Now his hands, the original Boba Fett doesn't have the little shields that go over the hand, so I had to custom make some of those, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I just used a piece of scrap polystyrene and kind of just carved the shape in there with the X-Acto blade, so yeah, I think that's going to work. I'm doing the same thing here for his belt. He does have a new belt buckle with his repaint, so again, just cutting some little pieces and carving some of the details into the belt buckle. Just wanted to show you the set of colors that I ended up using, and I airbrushed them on. They're the Citadel airbrush set, and they are just beautiful. So, and here I am just doing a little bit of work on the diorama, and we are about to wrap this thing up.
All right, this build turned out super cool, and I cannot wait to show you the turnarounds and some shots of the diorama. But before I do that, I want to do a huge shout out to Brandon. at the Warhammer store. Thank you so much. He busted out his computer and was helping me look up colors online, and we nailed it. We got the perfect colors, so thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate that. And then another shout out to Mom. As always, phenomenal sewing, and I really appreciated that. It just really helped push it over the top. And then a final shout out for the model kit itself from Team Gooplex and Roxy, the Pooch Belly Puppy. Thank you so much for that Boba Fett model kit. It was a perfect base for this, so I really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and leave a comment if you like this. And as always, it is a great day to be a toy nerd. Have a good one.